This is part number 12 of the Dubstep Glitch Power course with Tom Cosm. We're working on bassline number 11. So, sorry, part number 12, bassline 11, and we're going to call this bass 11, bass 1, bass 11, and we're going to create a new MIDI track, which we've done. We'll call it bass 11, alright. And we're going to use an operator, of course, as usual. Now, this particular sound, I want a really fat saw wave. So we're just going to use one saw wave here. That's all we're going to use in the oscillator. Alright, now let's just put in some notes while we're at it. So we've got did it. And take all those down an octave. And give it the swing, of course. Alright, but we're going to use some interesting rack stuff here. So, we used the amp before. That was kind of cool. So that's a distortion. So let's have a listen with just dragging it in. I'm not going to touch that. That sounds pretty good. But I'm going to right click it and group it. So we've got a rack here. And we'll call this, a rack with an amp in it. We'll call this amp 1. But let's duplicate it. Solo it. Let's find another cool one. Let's just use that. Call it amp 2. I'm just using the presets at the moment, not really tweaking it. Let's duplicate that. Command D. Call that amp 3. I'm going to have 4 of these. The typing is shocking. Too much coffee. Right, let's listen to that. Let's use that one. Let's bring up a bit of presence. Give it the bass. So we've got. Let's do one more. Rename amp 4. Let's just roll with that. Now, we've been playing with the volumes on racks to try and get them sitting right. Now we can play with the pan. So this is the left and right. So if I pan one of these extremely to the left, one of these extremely to the right, one of these kind of to the, what's that, halfway, 25, and this one over here, what's going to happen is we should split it all out into the spatial field and we'll get four different distortions coming from once. We hope. Alright. That's pretty cool, pretty powerful. Let's bring the volume down. Oh, that was the wrong one. I'm just going to add a wee utility in after here. And just bring the volume down. The utility is just real simple. We can just bring the gain down a bit because we were peaking. Without it, see we're going into the reds. Let's bring that down a bit. Doesn't really matter if it's peaking here because this is all kind of a digital chain, so it doesn't really create any distortion. Now, let's add in an EQ. Really good thing to do with a saw wave, if you're just having a powerful saw wave again, is to bring out the kind of the mid area. Just let that kind of high area ring through. Sounding pretty good. Maybe a little bit more around this frequency. Now I'm going to create one more thing after here. I'm going to put an auto filter. So we've talked about low pass, letting everything in the lows through, high pass, letting everything in the highs through. That's kind of cool, but we won't do that. Notch band pass. There's a whole new bass line there, but we've talked about band passes. Let's go into this notch. So the notch, as you can see, lets everything through on the left and the right side, but takes a notch out. So kind of it takes a particular band of frequencies out. And if you sweep this up and down with a really strong sound like the saw wave we've got. So it kind of creates a bit of a phasing effect, but what we can do is turn the LFO up on that. Bring the phasing down here because you don't want it to split to stereo at the moment. Awesome, but let's right click that and group it. Let's kind of do the same thing we did with the rack. So we've got one there. Let's duplicate that. Let's move the frequency around a bit, change the rate so it goes out of time. We'll do it again here. Bring that one up here, change the rate up a bit, and do one more. Bring it down, and we'll make this one go a bit slower. Whoa, peaking a lot, that's all good. we can put another utility after that. Oh, actually, we can just bring this one down. Doesn't really make a difference what I'm doing there. It's kind of cool when I move that frequency. So I'm going to go into the modulation, remember, over into the envelopes mode here. It's already picked that frequency for us because it's the last thing we mess with. Let's go into the tool, the pen tool, and let's just close the grid down. See how that sounds. Alright, that's sounding pretty fat. So that's a nice solid kind of saw wave. You could get really, you could do really fast little notes with that. So if I was to select these, make them shorter and drag them across. Yeah, but we won't do that. I like it how it is. Okay, and one quick thing is the drums have run out, so I'm just going to copy all 4 of those. I've just selected top, left, hold down shift, bottom right of where I want to copy and duplicate, and command D, so we've got drums again. Alrighty. Alright, and we'll group these together, everything together. And we'll call this guy saw. Alright. Cool. That was part number 12, baseline number 11. We're getting there, guys.